back home. I've actually revealed the topic right there, which is why immigrants leave Canada after getting citizenship. Right. So let's get into it. The first thing is the Canadian experience catch 22. Right. So what does that mean? Well, when we're pitched this idea of Canada, we're told, hey, you're a professional, you have experience, right? We want you to come here, get a job, join the workforce, and pretty much offer us what your skills can offer, right? And what happens is when the immigrants get here, especially what happened to my parents, is that they got here and they were told, hey, your credentials, they don't match up to what we have here because you don't have Canadian experience. Now, the whole Canadian experience thing is probably a bunch of BS as far as I'm concerned, because I don't see how a human being who's treated, if a Canadian is treated in Uganda, for example, by a doctor, right, will they get a different, will the doctor be using way different practices and way different medicine than they would use if they came here to Canada? Maybe I'm wrong, but to me, it doesn't make any sense, because when I go for treatment here, right, a doctor will pretty much recommend the same drugs that the doctor in Uganda has recommended to me. And I've been traveling back and forth, so I've seen the two differences of what's going on. And even when doctors do tests and they're monitoring your blood pressure and everything, like they found the same stuff. So I don't know what it is that they're doing that for. Maybe it's to protect Canadian citizens' jobs, which does make sense in my opinion. But at the same time, why don't you just tell us straight up, hey, you know what? You'll need to gain some experience in a Canadian setting as far as the culture and how people handle themselves, right? And then once you fit into that culture, then we can look at getting you a position in a professional field, right? Which would make more sense if they set the expectation. But of course, they probably just want to bring people in droves and then have them figure things out by themselves. So that's one thing I wanted to bring up as the first point. The second point is that there's an unforgiving cost of living, right, and housing. So back home in Uganda, housing is cheaper. Get the citizenship and then go back home. I've actually revealed the topic right there, which is why immigrants leave Canada after getting citizenship, right? So let's get into it. The first thing is the Canadian experience catch 22. Right, so what does that mean? Well, when we're pitched this idea of Canada, we're told, hey, you're a professional, you have experience, right? We want you to come here, get a job, join the workforce, and